Before the golden age of heroes, before the cities of Athens and Sparta, before humanity itself, the universe was ruled by fear. Forget the wise, bearded Zeus sitting on a throne of clouds. That world didn't exist yet. The cosmos was a dark, violent place ruled by the Titans. Massive, elemental deities of pure strength. And sitting at the top of this food chain was a king terrified of his own shadow. Cronus. Cronus was the lord of time. He was powerful, he was cruel, and he was paranoid. He had heard a prophecy, a whisper from the earth itself, that said one day his own children would strip him of his power, just as he had stripped his father before him. Cronus made a decision that would stain mythology forever. He wouldn't lock his children in a dungeon. He wouldn't banish them. He decided to turn his own body into their prison. Every time his wife, Rhea, gave birth, Cronus was there, waiting, and one by one, he swallowed them whole. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, living, immortal gods trapped in the pitch-black acid of their father's stomach. Imagine the horror. The king of the universe, ruling with a belly full of his own screaming children. But Rhea couldn't take it anymore. When her sixth child was born, she didn't hand him over. She wrapped a stone in swaddling clothes and handed it to the mad king. Cronus, blinded by his paranoia, didn't even check. He swallowed the rock. And in a secret cave on the island of Crete, the sixth child was hidden away. His name was Zeus. Zeus didn't grow up as a prince. He grew up as a fugitive, raised by nymphs, fed on the milk of a divine goat, and guarded by warriors who would clash their shields together to drown out the sound of his crying. He grew strong. He grew fast. And he grew angry. He wasn't just training to fight a king. He was training to fight a mountain. When Zeus came of age, he infiltrated the Titan's palace. He wasn't armed with a lightning bolt, yet he was armed with poison. Disguised as a cupbearer, he slipped a mixture of mustard and wine to Cronus. The result was immediate and violent. Cronus retched, and out they came. First the stone, then Poseidon, then Hades, then the sisters. They emerged fully grown, dripping in bile, and burning with a lifetime of rage. Zeus looked at his siblings. They looked at him. They didn't need to speak. The message was clear. The reign of the Titans ends today. They fled to Mount Olympus, the highest peak in the world. They established a base. And they declared war on the old world. This wasn't a skirmish. This was the Titanomachy, the war of the Titans. You have to understand the scale of this war. On one side, Mount Othrys, the fortress of the Titans, led by Cronus and his massive generals Atlas, the pillar of endurance, and Hyperion, the lord of light. On the other side, Mount Olympus, held by the young gods. For 10 years, they tore the earth apart. When they clashed, tectonic plates shifted. When they shouted, hurricanes formed. But it was a stalemate. The Titans were too strong physically, but the Olympians were faster and smarter. Neither side could land the killing blow. The universe was breaking. The sky was falling closer to the earth. Humanity, if it existed then, would have been wiped out in the crossfire. Zeus realized that strength wasn't enough. He needed weapons of mass destruction. He journeyed into the deepest pit of the underworld Tartarus. There, he found the prisoners that even Cronus feared, the Cyclopes master smiths with one eye, and the Hecatoncheires monstrosities with 50 heads and 100 hands. Zeus broke their chains. He told them, "Serve me, and I will give you revenge." In gratitude, the Cyclopes went to their forge. They didn't make swords. They forged the power of the sky itself. To Hades, they gave the Helm of Darkness, a helmet that made the wearer invisible, a living nightmare. To Poseidon, they gave the Trident, a 3-pronged spear that could shatter islands. And to Zeus, they gave the Thunderbolt. The stalemate was over. The nuclear age of mythology had begun. The final battle took place on the plains of Thessaly. The Titans stood confident, relying on their brute strength. But they had never seen technology like this. Suddenly, the sky went black. From the shadows, unseen, Hades struck. He moved through the Titan lines like a ghost, stealing their weapons, sowing panic. They were fighting an enemy they couldn't see. From the ocean, Poseidon slammed his trident into the earth. The ground liquefied. The Titans lost their footing as shockwaves shattered their formations. And then, from the peak of Olympus, Zeus unleashed hell. He didn't throw one bolt. He threw a storm. The air heated to thousands of degrees. Forests vaporized instantly. The oceans boiled. The Titans, blinded and burned, tried to regroup. But Zeus had one last card to play. The 100-handers. 3 giants, standing on the cliffs above, picked up 300 boulders at once. They rained down a mountain of stone on the Titan army. It was an artillery barrage that buried the old gods alive. Broken, burned, and buried, the Titans surrendered. The war was won, but justice had to be served. Zeus was not merciful. He took the Titans, bound them in unbreakable chains, and cast them into Tartarus, the deepest, darkest pit beneath the underworld. To ensure they never escaped, he set the 100-handers as their jailers. But for the general of the Titan army, Atlas, Zeus had a special punishment. He didn't send him to the dark. He sent him to the edge of the world. He forced Atlas to kneel and placed the weight of the entire celestial sphere, the sky itself, onto his shoulders. Atlas stands there still, crushed by the weight of the heavens, a living monument to the cost of defying Zeus. With the old world gone, the 3 brothers Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades drew lots to divide the kingdom. Poseidon took the oceans, Hades took the underworld, and Zeus took the sky, becoming the king of gods and men. Order was established. The chaos was tamed. But as he sat on his throne, clutching his lightning bolt, Zeus looked down at the dark pit of Tartarus. He knew the cycle of violence. He knew the prophecy. He had defeated his father. But he would spend the rest of eternity wondering, who is coming for me? This is the story of how the gods were forged in war. This was the Titanomachy.